Mm-hmm. Ooga booga. Ooga 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 ooga. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to yet another episode of the Crypto Mining Morning Show. Your one-stop shop for everything crypto mining in the morning. Maybe. Go check out some of the other content creators as well. Some off the top of my head. Red Panda Mining, of course, and Bits Be Trippin', and Sabs FinTech, and the list goes on and on and on. But today we are going to be checking out, of course, a new release from XMGig, released about, well, now at this point, maybe 20 minutes ago. We have InnoSilicon, which is shipping a new Ethereum ASIC, Bitmain backed BitFuFu abandons mining rigs in Kazakhstan. And of course, then we are going to be talking about the Intel Arc A380 graphics card, as we have more details for that right now. So there you go. And I do know sound's working because I can monitor it right here. So we're good there, but thanks for the joke. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and start things off with the ad for the day, and then we'll hop into it. Today's video is brought to you in partnership with GamerSupps. GamerSupps provides a healthy alternative to sugary energy drinks with delicious flavors like Misfits Melon or my favorite Blue Raz. I use the GamerSupps as an alternative to support my active lifestyle outside of content creation. Caffeine-free options are great for late-night gaming after the kids have gone to bed. And my favorite part about GamerSupps is that they accept cryptocurrency, and for a limited time, when you purchase a tub with cryptocurrency, you will receive a Bitcoin shaker. Follow the affiliate link in the description, and don't forget to use code SOAT at checkout. Welcome back. All right, so first topic of the day, we're going to be taking a look at XMGig version 6.16.2. Let's go ahead and hop into it right after we resolve a window issue here. Bam, done. Got it. All right. So this released 43 minutes ago. It is version 6.16.2. And here are the notes. Ghostwriter algorithm for Raptorium, release notes. And so these are all going to be all the way from, I believe, 16 down here from 6 days ago. So we don't need to read the top few. We've already covered them. Obviously, the big notes being the support for Ghostwriter and Kapow. So there you go. What did they do in version 6.16.2? Well, they fixed a crash on CPU supporting VAES and running GCC compiled XMGig. They fixed broken auto-tuning in GCC Windows build. They fixed environment variable support for Ghostwriter and Kapow. And here are some performance fixes. Fixed several performance bottlenecks introduced in 6.1. Fixed overall GCC compiled build performance. It's the same speed as MSVC build new. Linux builds are now up to 10% faster now compared to version 6.16.0, and Windows builds are up to 5 times faster now compared to version 6.16.0. Now, what we don't know is if it's detecting all of the threads on the Ryzen 5000 series for Ghostwriter, which it didn't on the original version or 0.1, and it isn't directly announced in here. Maybe that's part of the auto tuning. I could pop over here live if you guys want me to. I could pop onto this bench and start downloading it, and we could test it and see if it picks up all 32 threads on the 5950X. Let me know in the comment section if you would like me to do that. Anonymous Miner, oh, excuse me, hold on. It's that protein shake coming back up, you know what I mean? Anonymous Miner and DJ Mines in the chat. Make sure you guys go check out the YouTube channels. Hope you guys are doing good today. Oh, boys. What do we got? What do we got? We got first big news article of the day. InnoSilicon ships new Ethereum ASIC miner at 1500 mega hash a second. We're going to get into this article now. First of all, of course, yesterday I had misunderstood some people in chat, apparently. I thought they were talking about a InnoSilicon mining specific GPU when it seemed like those GPUs were, of course, being purpose-built for, well, not mining. What I didn't get, which obviously it was the news for the day and it's out now, it came out on December 1st, is that InnoSilicon is shipping new Ethereum miners. To me, that's odd because we have the threat of course, proof of stake coming here in June of 2022. And from my understanding, these things don't even look like they'll pay themselves off before then, which means you're stuck with what? Ethereum Classic? Maybe a handful of other coins, but most of them dead. Anyways, let's get into the article. This is a very odd choice, very odd release. Let me expand that out. All right. So this is coming from the block. A new Ethereum ASIC miner is coming to the market, but it appears to be not as attractive as it was initially thought to be. Wuhan headquartered chip maker InnoSilicon is now shipping the long-awaited Ethereum ASIC miner called the A11 Pro after words of the specifications first came out earlier this year. At the time, the expected performance was thought to be 2,000 megahash per second with a power at 2,500 watts. That would translate to a mining efficiency of 1.25 watt per megahash, which would outperform the most efficient equipment on the market today by 30%. But based on the quotes for spot stocks of A11 Pro by multiple miner distributors and brokers in China this week, the new ASIC equipment touts an average hash rate of 1.5 gigahash a second, which is 1,500 megahash a second, with a power of 2,350 watts. That means the average efficiency is at 1.56 watts per megahash. It can still outperform all the equipment on the market at the moment, but is 20% less efficient than what was initially anticipated. The quotes from Chinese brokers and distributors are between 170 to 180,000 yuan, or around $27,000 per unit. ASIC Miner Value, a website that tracks ASIC mining equipment on all networks, also warns in the banner that at least the first batch of A11 Pro equipment shipping in November will deliver a hash rate of 1,500 megahash instead of 2,000 megahash. A rough launch. Indeed, InnoSilicon did not have a smooth launch for the A11 series equipment. The firm said in a tweet in March that one of the employees conducted unauthorized sales for A11 Pro with the boasted 1.25 watt per megahash mining efficiency and an expected delivery time between April and August this year. The employee was later fired. Quote, there are recent police investigations involved in some fraud A11 pre-order sales activities. Please don't pay any account on A11 till further announcement. Bella Chen is fired and is no longer with InnoSilicon, the firm said at the time. Be careful, all sales of A11 are suspended. Further, the A11 Pro equipment hits the market at a time when the latest date for Ethereum to switch to proof of stake is slated for June of 2022. Per ASIC Miner Value's calculation, the average payback period for an A11 Pro currently is around 8 to 10 months based on Ethereum's current difficulty and prices. The firm also hosted a launch event last week to release its own desktop graphics processing unit, although it did not give out any details on the GPU's potential performance on Ethereum mining. I mean, we have a pretty good idea of what that performance is going to be, right? We already looked at it. You guys want to run the numbers? Let's run the numbers. We could believe ASIC Miner Value, but I'd rather do it ourselves. Let's go ahead and pop over to what to mine. Boom. Let's go ahead and get us, let's go ahead and get us in some ET hash information. We're looking at 1,500 megahash a second at, what was it, 2,750 watts. Is that correct? 2,350 watts. 2,350 at 10 cents a kilowatt hour. Let's go ahead and calculate that out. You're looking at $112 a day in revenue with a profit of $106.78 a day after that. So let's go ahead and pop open that calculator. If these things are going to run you $27,000 and you divide that by 106.78, you're looking at an ROI of 252 days. And yeah, it's not that great, is it? I mean, it'd be great if it was like ETH wasn't potentially going away in June, but it's not that great if ETH is going away in June. Let's go ahead and look at our other options for Ethereum. Oh. ET hash, there's really... I was joking, there is nothing else. I don't think What the Mine's really working with it either. I think we have to add in the ET4G over here. Hold on, I'll get it plugged in. Let's take a look. Yeah, that bumps it up. So Ethereum Classic, your profit's already cut in half. Cork Chain, your profit's cut even more. Ubeek probably is like the least sketchy other than Ethereum Classic, and that's going to cut your profit in a quarter. So, I mean, your ROI goes to 500 days on Ethereum Classic. No, sir. So there you go. That is essentially the InnoSilicon Ethereum ASIC that's available now. Sort of. Not really. Also, if you pre-ordered one, I guess you're in a lot of trouble because it's possible you got your money stolen from you, so good luck on that. Luckily over here, us GPU miners, we aren't buying we aren't buying ASICs from pre-orders from random people, so you know, congratulations on dodging a bullet there, GPU miners. I'm proud of you. Let's go ahead and talk about the Intel Arc A380 graphics card, because we have more specifications for it, which means hopefully we can get more info out of it. Let's go ahead and hop in. So this is coming from WCCF Tech. This is a hardware rumor. Intel Arc A380 discrete graphics card to feature 128 EUs clocked at up to 2.4 gigahertz and 6 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory performance, on par with the GTX 1650 Super. Now, here's a big thing that's the difference between a 1650 Super, I think, in this in particular, is the 1650 Super, I thought, only had 4 gigabytes of memory, right? Is that correct? Let me double check before I stuff it in my mouth. My foot in my mouth again. Yeah, 4 gigabytes with a memory speed of 12 gigabits per second. So, I believe it was a 128-bit bus, something like that. No. Useful full specs. I thought it was memory bandwidth. Yeah, 128-bit bus. So the difference is going to be here that we get 6 gigabytes of VRAM, so it would work on Ethereum. All right, so in a tweet by Tom API SAK, there we go, the specifications and naming convention of Intel's Arc Alchemist GPU-based graphics card lineup have been revealed. It looks like Intel's Arc lineup will utilize the A series branding as previously reported. The numbering scheme identifies the performance tier of each specific graphics card. So just following suit with AMD and NVIDIA there. So coming to the specifications, the Intel Arc A380 graphics card will feature the Alchemist Xe HPG DG2 GPU with 128 execution units or 1024 ALUs packed with 8 Xe cores. The top GPU SKU will come with 512 execution units or 4096 ALUs packed with 32 Xe cores. The specific DG2 SKU, that's a tongue twister, is going to see a number of variants, but the 8 Xe core die is the top part. The GPU is fabricated on TSMC's 6nm manufacturing process node and supports some really high clock speeds of 2.45 gigahertz. It is not reported if this is the average boost or max clock, but it definitely comes close to the game frequencies of the AMD Navi 22 and 23 GPUs. The Intel Arc A380 graphics card will also feature 6 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory. The bus interface is not mentioned, but is likely to be 96 bits, as suggested in a leak last month. Since this is most probably the desktop variant, we are going to see 16 gigabyte pin speeds, which will deliver up to 192 gigabytes a second total bandwidth, while the laptop variants will come with 14 gigabits pin speeds for 168 gigabytes of bandwidth total. The A380 graphics card will feature a TDP of 75 watts and is likely we won't see any external pins for power, but there is also a possibility that Intel and its partners trying to squeeze in more power in the card for higher clocks and higher performance. So essentially what you see is, I guess, at the end of the day, because they're clocking this down to 96-bit bus, you're still going to have the memory throughput of 192 like the 1650. The only difference here is, I guess, we get to see what a 1650 would mine like, presumably, Ethereum specifically. So is the performance going to be good for mining cryptocurrency on the Intel series? Probably not. I mean, the benefit here is we do have a very low power part, which is kind of the plus side of it. It'll be fun to play with regardless, but this is one of the smallest memory interfaces I think available, even at the low end graphics cards where usually you see 128-bit, 96-bit, super tiny as far as like bus width. It does look like, because of the pin speeds being at 16 gigabits per second, you will get that total bandwidth of the 192 gigabytes per second, just like you would on like a 1650 or something. There's a little bit of, I guess, promise there. But hash rate wise, right, let's go ahead. We could actually probably calculate this out. Okay. What is similar? I think a GTX 1060? Is that right? It's been a while. I have to look this up. I think if we looked at the specifications, yeah. So the GTX 1060 is 192 gigabytes per second of memory bandwidth. So you're probably looking at the same mining performance of a GTX 1060 at lower power consumption. So between 20 and 24 mega hash a second. Obviously going to be under 75 watts. So that is the big benefit there. So that'd be my prediction about GTX 1060 6 gigabyte mining performance. I believe that's right? Because that is GDDR6. Yep, all right. Everything checks out as far as that prediction goes. That's my prediction for the Intel Arc A380 graphics card. I'm going to say 50 watts. Let's just say 50 watts right off the bat. Boom, done. That's what I think. That's where I'm at right now with this particular one. So that covers almost all the news. One more topic for today, then we'll get into the mining market. I still have one mining rig down. I thought I had it fixed yesterday. I guess I don't. We're going to have to like pull a GPU out. I think at this point it looks like it's just not working. I'll have to bring it back here for testing. That being said, last topic of the day is coming from CoinDesk. Bitmain-backed BitFuFu abandons mining rigs in Kazakhstan due to power rationing. So let's get into this one. This was released this morning at 3:15 a.m. Central Standard Time, it says. BitFuFu is abandoning its mining rigs in Kazakhstan and buying new ones from Bitmain and setting them up in the US. After weeks of power rationing in the Central Asian country, BitFuFu told CoinDesk on Thursday. So here's one of the things that just really gets my goat. You know what I mean? We're just a whole bunch of hard-working boys over here in the United States. We've been trying to get all of the mining equipment we can. And meanwhile, because of the partnerships with Bitmain, etc., BitFuFu can just abandon a ton of them and buy a bunch more and install them on our land. That's just, all right, we're done. Obviously, the end there was just for fun. But Kazakhstan has been facing severe electricity shortages, partly because of the influx of crypto miners in the country, but also because of the pre-existing problems with its energy infrastructure. The national grid operator moved to ration electricity to crypto mines in September. In November, the Ministry of Energy assured the industry that the government won't restrict electricity to legal mines, but the rationing didn't stop. Last month, miner Zive shut down a 2,500 rig facility in Kazakhstan because of energy shortages. Industry sources estimate legal mines with 200 to 500 megawatts of power have been cut off from the grid. BitFuFu's new machines have already arrived in the US, a company spokesperson told CoinDesk. The company previously told users that it was facing delays taking the machines through customs and transporting them to the mines because of the Thanksgiving holiday. BitFuFu users have been watching their investments sit idly as the platform's Kazakhstan facilities are offline. One user told CoinDesk that BitFuFu's machines have been completely offline for a little over 1 month, adding that he would leave the platform if it gave him his money back. Yeah, that's not happening, bro. That's not happening. Here's another thing that we gotta, golly. Don't invest in other companies to invest in mining hardware for you. Buy the hardware yourself. Do the work yourself. If you're not willing to do the work yourself because it's too complicated or too stressful or you don't have the time for it, then don't do it. Because this is what happens if you trust other people with your mining equipment. Be safe out there, boys. Another said that disruption started in mid-October and that they are worried but not angry at the service. Users who spoke to CoinDesk refused to be named because their contracts with BitFuFu include anti-defamation clauses. The mining platform acknowledged the problem stemming from Kazakhstan's electricity rationing in an October 14th Telegram message, saying it would compensate users by extending their contract for as long as their machines are offline. According to the Financial Times estimates, BitFuFu has 80,000 rigs in Kazakhstan after moving there from China because of a government crackdown on crypto mining. A company spokesperson refused to comment on the estimate. The BitFuFu spokesperson told CoinDesk that the company might try to sell its machines in Kazakhstan, but hasn't reached a decision yet. BitFuFu is a platform that enables users to invest in mining without having to operate the facilities. Operate your own facilities. Go into partnership with somebody. I don't know. Figure it out. Don't rent shit from people. All right, I'm done. Stepping down off the soapbox. Let's talk about the Ethereum mining market today, and let's get into it. So, calculate out some 3090s. We have dropped below $8 a day after power costs at 10 cents a kilowatt hour on the 3090s, leaving us at $7.81 in profit after. Let's go ahead and check out the 2080 Ti, the only GPU that's more profitable on anything else but Ethereum. Let's see what it's looking at today. We're looking at Zelhash, Flux, of course, still number one. In the past 2 weeks, it has only dropped out of grace and below Ethereum for 1 day. 1 day, Ethereum was more profitable than Flux on the 2080 Ti. This is starting to be pretty nice. Pretty nice. I'm starting to think, I'm going to build me some 2080 Ti rigs for some Flux. $4.36 a day after power cost on Flux. Cool stuff. Finally, we got to look at the AMD stuff. Everybody's favorite 5700 XT. Firo, 203 after power. Ethereum, 383 after power. I have a rig down. We're not making a lot of money on Ethereum. We dropped. It's bad right now. We got to get that rig up. Look, it was only up for a little bit. I'm not sure what happened. Well, I do know what happened. I have One card in here, GPU 2 dead. I had removed the overclocks. It was running. I went home, went to bed, woke up, not running. That's the way it goes. It is what it is. That's the fun of having a mining farm, especially like when you're like fluctuating all over the place with price and then still needing to cover costs. Oh, have I ever told you guys? Being a YouTuber and a cryptocurrency miner is not for the faint of heart. And if you try to do it full time, be ready. Because you're going to be like this. Emotional and financial roller coaster. But boy, is it worth it. I'll tell you that. It is worth it. Sitting down for questions for the day. I want to thank everybody once again for being here. You guys rock. All right, so how the questions work. Of course, super chats get priority because if you're going to pay for something, I better return that favor. Now, I have noticed we have dropped significantly as far as the views go, morning views for the Crypto Morning Mining Show. Is this something we should try to adjust out? What could be better for you guys as far as that goes as well? Go ahead and do @SonOfATech if you have a question, or of course, like I said, super chats. And then we'll go from there. I'm going to scroll up and see if there's any questions. Not seeing any questions today, so I think we're good there. Hive OS in their article on detailing a Pixie server setup. I can add that to my list. That would be a guide or a how-to, right? Jacob Burgess says, where would you think the best place to snag 5700 XTs would be? Saving up to build out a 12 by 5700 XT rig. I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I think for the most part, you're just going to have to hit things like eBay and Facebook Marketplace, right? And I don't even know what they go for on there. Aren't they still a little crazily overpriced? Let me make sure. There we go. So if we took a look at eBay, $959 buy it now, $700 buy it now, $999 buy it now. Oh, these aren't. That's not buy it now. That's one bid. So around $1,000. There's one you could bid on. What are they actually selling for? Let's do completed items. These are completed items. $1,000 done. $869 done. $1,025 done. Easily selling for $1,000 a pop. Easily selling for $1,000 a pop. All right, getting some questions in now. 6600 non-XT GPUs are getting error in Hive OS. No temp. Why does that happen? I wouldn't know exactly why. I haven't been testing any of those in Hive OS. All my 6000 series I run in SMOS because of the amount of issues I had with the 6000 series in Hive OS. So Simple Mining OS is pretty much what I use exclusively for the 6000 series, Lucas. And I do have a 6600 now, but it's in, it's far away. I got to drive down there and go get it. Actually, hopefully getting it today, along with a couple other things. But I haven't even gotten to testing the 3070 Ti. I've been so busy recently. Fernando says, do you still have 580s? No, I sold a lot of those a long time ago. Mario Burger says, where do you get your GPUs? Online. The last few have been 3090s from viewers. Let's see. So the 6600 XT I got as a bundle from Newegg. The 3070 Ti was one of those in stock alert bots. And then every 30 days I go down and wait in line at Micro Center to pick up whatever's at retail. Usually a 3090 there. The last 3090 I got at retail from Micro Center was $1,900. Tomas says, at Tech 5700 XT in Canada for 1,000 CA or 1,400 CA on Facebook Marketplace. I don't know what the conversion is. I assume that's about the same price as here, though. Annette Tolbert says, at Tech, I have only ever had issues with my 5700 XT when it comes to sustaining its hash rate. Is this common issue with your 5700 XT, or does it require a BIOS mod? All mine are BIOS modded. Memory strapped, overclocked. Pretty much all of them are good, except for one rig that I put on Ravencoin and they experienced some core degradation after time. Rad CPU Man says, at Tech, have you heard rumors that the merge may be pushed to 2023, or was that just wishful thinking on your part? I have not heard rumors of that. I don't think that is anything that's going on necessarily. I think that we are probably looking at the same expected time. Fernando says, do you still recommend buying GPUs? I never recommend buying GPUs. I just tell you guys what I'm doing, and I'm buying more GPUs, if that answers your question. But that's not financial advice. That's what I'm doing. You don't have to follow that. It's risky. It's one of those things, like I said, like the hard part about being a cryptocurrency miner and a YouTuber is, like, if you're risk adverse or if you have any anxieties at all, it's not the game for you, man. It's not the game. Just go keep working the 9 to 5. Alrighty, Nostaddy for the $5. Calling me I am a peasant. You're right. It's fine. Did you guys see my shirt though? It says, come and shake it. All right, let's see what else we got here going on. Demetrius says, Son of a Tech, thank you for the news. Okay, going to work. You have a good day. A good day at work. Chris Chamberlain says, $5. Thank you, Chris. Oh, what was the encrypted USB that you needed to get your seed? I remember a video of you having to go get it from a safe. What was it? Oh, so we use these. They're called, and I actually have a couple here that I want to do a guide on. I actually just bought some for a guide, and I've been meaning to do the guide for a while, but they're the YubiKeys. And they're hardware two-factor authentication, essentially. Bean Soup says, do you mine with CPUs as well? Yes, I do. We try to cover all things mining, even ASICs. ASICs is hard because, I mean, in an ideal world as a mining channel, what I would have is one of every ASIC. I don't need a bunch of one ASICs, right? Like, I'm not actually even interested in, like, stacking up, like, a ton of, I mean, at this point, because it's going to cost too much, like S19s or whatever like that. But what I would like is to work with companies to be able to at least have one for testing. But it is what it is. Gerardo Marquez says, has Microsander stated concern for you being a miner? Do they make you mistake you? No, they know me. Everybody that works there knows me. They know exactly what I do. Patrick says, that son of a tech, I know you're not a big ASIC fan, but do you know anyone who's bought from Bitmain website? I don't know anybody that's bought from Bitmain website. My ASIC partner is bt-miners.com, and I have ordered from them, and they do deliver, and they support the channel, so support those who support the channel. That'd be cool. RD says, ask Tech, how's the BJJ going? You're a brown belt. I am a one stripe white belt, and I'm loving it. I'm loving getting my ass beat, pretty much. I have a competition on the 11th, so I've been training really hard this week, and then I think next week, obviously I get to ramp it down, so I'm looking forward to next week. We did 3 workouts Monday, 3 workouts Tuesday, and 2 workouts yesterday. Yesterday was the rest day, which still comprised of like rolling and cardio. But I did already lose like 6 pounds, which actually is problematic because I'm signed up for heavyweight, and which is like 210 to 225. And I guess a little background on that: before COVID, I was at 225, right? I got COVID, I dropped down to like 215. Yeah, I lost like 10 pounds. I thought I was good there, and then I started this super heavy workout regimen, and I just dropped 6 pounds like nobody's business. So technically, I'm like light heavyweight now, but I'm signed up for heavy. So I don't know. I'm a week away. I obviously have never tried to make weight or dial that in. I'm just going to roll with it. It's a little awkward though right now. And I'm sure I'm going to lose pretty quickly, but it's still I don't know, something I'm thinking about from a weight perspective I never have before. I'm not thinking of losing weight to look good. I'm thinking of putting on weight to have an extra advantage. I don't really know. It feels weird, man. Annette says, son of a tech, I've been thinking about buying my first ASIC miner. I don't remember seeing a video on KDA or prices on the HNT miner. Do you have an opinion on those miners? I have neither one. I haven't been able to get one. And I don't like talking about I still have 2 miners on order that I'm pretty sure I got scammed out of for HNT. David Rosa says, ask Son of a Tech, is it worth buying a GV100 card? I don't know. It would depend on the price, right? Fernando says, Son of a Tech, I can get RX 580s, 8GB for $300. It's an old card, but I'm thinking of buying newer cards. What other cards do you strongly recommend? So, here's the hard part, right? Your RX 580, 8GB for $300 is going to get the same amount of hash rate, albeit with extra work. So there's something to be said for that too. Has an RX 6600. The RX 6600 has up-to-date newer technology and will be able to be resold to gamers. RX 580s will no longer be able to be resold to gamers. I do not see a world in which you could give them away to gamers, if you want to be charitable and write them off, but gaming on them is not a great experience anymore. So you're not going to get that resale. So same performance, you do have to pay a little bit more. RX 6600, you do get a lower power consumption at 50 watts. The other thing is the 580s. So for BIOS modding 580s, almost each individual card requires its own BIOS mod. That can make running the 580s super stressful and keeping them reliable, and then knowing which BIOS mod goes where and blah, blah, blah. It can be a pain. So just keep that in mind. I didn't like all the little maintenance I had to do on the 580s all the time. Some Goblin says, that son of a tech, have a wonderful day. Keep on keeping on. Have a good one. Have a good one, dude. Bob84 Gaming says, son of a tech, does vape smoke harm mining rigs? I wouldn't know. I would assume any smoke like that or vapor that you're blowing over, because it is going to have what is it, condensation or whatever, could create, it's humid. I don't know. I would assume anything like that would be harmful. But I don't know. I don't like talking about it. I still have 2 miners on order that I'm pretty sure I got scammed out of for HNT. So it's humid. That would be what I would be worried about. Wouldn't just continuously blow vape smoke over your mining rig. Probably better than cigarettes, though. Wazwinkle says, ask Tech, which HNT miners did you order? You got 4 Finestra miners in less than a week from CalChip. Nice. Mine are old. Like, I ordered them last year. I'll go look. I've been, like, not wanting to order more because I had, like, $1,500 tied up in it, and I was, like, all stressed out. Now, I have heard that the profitability is really good on them, though. Scott Klein says, at Tech, do you have any thoughts on strong nodes? Been thinking of putting some mining revenue towards been thinking of putting some mining revenue towards some for additional passive income. You mean like master nodes? Strong nodes sounds like a marketing term for master nodes. Simpson says, that Son of a Tech 5700 XT that's giving you problems. Have you removed it from the flight sheet so that the rest can keep mining? So, well, the problem is we have 2 problems going on with that rig. It rebooted and it just didn't come back up. What it looked like, it's doing that weird thing where the USB is losing detection of the USB stick. And then you swap it to a new slot and then it comes back up. I'm going to probably have to throw it on a spare hard drive. EBS says $50 a day, easy rig recommendation. Yeah, I mean, I would just like, if you want the easiest, right, that's going to be like 6 RTX 3090s. And you can build that into one rig. You're just going to have to get a lot of power, right? So you would do like, let me see if I can do this right. So you would do what? I mean, obviously this is going to be a little weird, but I'll type out the list for you. Six times. Welcome to the Rocket Chat, Ravenloft. We're building out a rig, I guess, sorta. What I'm trying to figure out is, does this reveal? Shouldn't, right? All right. Then we would look at like all right, I think we can do this now. Okay. You can probably get a better deal on mining motherboards than this, I would assume. Is this that's the Asus Prime Z390. 6 slot, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. So you do like 6 3090s, this motherboard. I'm gonna do it like that. Yeah, that'll work. All right. Then let's see. What is that Z390? You need all this stuff too, but yep, G4930. Why are they so expensive? You could probably get LGA 1151. LGA 1151, because at this point you could probably get yeah, you can get the i3 cheaper. So you can get still stupid, but you can get the i3 cheaper, right? You guys said he said quick dirty build. We're just doing a quick dirty build. Obviously, go do research for better pricing. So you can do that i3 9100F. Then we just need 8 gigs of memory or whatever. Let's just do it this way. This will get us in there quicker, right? Memory. It's one stick of 4 gigabytes. Eight gigabytes. 2666 would be fine. There we go. Bam! Crucial RAM. All right, so that's, oh yeah, USB, or just say flash drive. Fast drive, I spelled it wrong. You can get a hard drive if you want, but and what else do we need? We need the frame. Just a 6 GPU one so we can get the cheap one. I've used these before. These are good. And then that's an 8 GPU. That'll fit 63090s on it. As long as you space out and play around with it. And wait, does that take two? I forgot. No, you can't use this one. My bad. You need 2 power. You could, but you would have your power supply sticking out. So hold on a second. Where's the one where it did the dual? It's just a basic flat one that still does dual power, or 2 power supplies or whatnot. I know they're on here somewhere. They're probably super expensive now, huh? There it is. The 12G. Yeah. Yeah. This is the one I've been running. Even with the smaller ones. Then you have room to expand too. So. Two power supplies. All right. So you're looking at 320 times 6 basically. Oops. 320 times 6. You need 2,000 watts of power. And potentially, depending, you would need 6 plus 3 times 6. So it's 18 plus 6, right? 24 PCIe connectors. And then for the plebs that are on 120, that means you're definitely going to need 2 power supplies. And then because I don't like taking chances. Ooh, are they out of the EVGA P2? No, they got them. The Supernova Gold would be fine though too. I have been using these. I haven't had any issues with them, but I'm not going to recommend them. It's crazy how expensive all this shit's gotten too. But gold rated is going to be fine. Fully modular. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And obviously, like we've talked about, better power options, boys. If you follow along with the channel, definitely pay attention. 4. Are those VGA? Yeah, so 10, 14, that's plenty. So you do 2 of these. And I've used these before. I think that's it, right? Check the list. It's for some reason not letting me populate that list. We'll populate it into the chat, I guess. But thanks for building with me, boys. I'll edit it. I'm going to put it right at the top. All right, if you refresh, the parts list will be there. I did see some good suggestions. I wasn't ignoring y'all. I just also have a hard time bouncing between chat and everything like that. Let's take a look, though, at what's going on. Welcome to the Suns on Twitch, Ravenloft. Thanks for the membership. Golden Wolf, have you verified the defeat? Yes, because basically all you gotta do is bump up the millivolts on the core and then they work fine. Wazwinky says you also ordered some, they can get them maybe until September, October. Maybe I'll get mine. I can still hold out hope. Clyde Tech says MSI Gaming Max is a lot cheaper at a 6-slot paired with the AMD 3000G CPU. Cool. Sounds good. Skyview Photography says of the Triad, that was a long one, says at Cybertech Skyview, blah, 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 how often should I change out thermal pads? I have been mining since March. You should change out thermal pads when the GPU is thermal throttling, meaning if you see a reduction in your hash rate, then more than likely that's when you would want to do it. Golden Wolf said, did you buy any of those 32 M.2s on parallel miners for $9? No, I must have missed out on that. It sounds like it would have been a good deal. Scott Klein says, at Sound of Attack, strong block partners with various blockchains such as Phantom and Polygon and allows them to outsource master node services. Nodes cost $10 strong, 10 strong tokens and pays out 0.101 strong a day. Why? Yeah, that doesn't sound good to me. I wouldn't use a third party. I would just straight up build my own master node, Scott. Richard Crackle says, outside of tech, is it safe to provide GPU power via an adapter from an 8-pin CPU to a 6+ 2-pin? No, they're not usually the same. You'll cause a fire. Maybe an adapter that you can buy. And then what's the max theoretical? CPU 8-pin. I always forgot. Is it a PCIe by 8? I'd have to look at it because there's specifications. You wouldn't want the 8-pin pulling more than the specification for an 8-pin, and I can't remember. I know like the PCIe connectors have their own standard, and the CPU power has their own standard as well. I'd have to do too much math, and I'd have to Google too much to answer that quickly. CryptoMan 5000, thanks for the $9.99. Quentin Moses, thanks for the $5. New to the channel. RTX 3060 cannot find the older driver to unlock. What should I mine on this? Are you sure it's a revision 1? If it's not a revision 1 and it's a revision 2, then you need to use essentially, you need to use a light hash rate unlock. And let me just double check, but more than likely it's still Ethereum, even on the light hash rate model. No, it looks like Cero does take over at 245, but I would still just do Ethereum with a light hash rate unlock. 232 going to be easier to liquidate it. But if it is a revision 1, highly unlikely if you bought it recently. Highly unlikely. But you can hop into our Rocket chat, and we do have the links for that driver. When people says you look tired, I'm not tired. I'm about to go work out, bro. Paul says, as sign of attack, do you think USB is worth it over SSD when factoring in rig downtime due to USB failure? It depends on if you're running simple mining or Hive, really, to be honest. Most of the rig failures due to USB is on Hive OS. And then in addition to that, it depends on the USBs too. I mean, I have some that have been going over a year. And I have some, like I bought a new batch recently. They have been dying all the time. So it is what it is. Bright Glaive says, outside of tech, I have 3 1080s and 2 1060s spread across 3 computers. I always forgot, is there any way these could be profitable in crypto mining? Yes, they are. We can actually tell you exactly how much that would be on what to mine. So if you are looking at 3 1080s and 2 1060s, you would do $9.27 a day on Ethereum after power costs. Thanks for helping out with the power crackling. So you said the EPS is 235, and then if I recall, PCI Express is 175, right? So the EPS should be enough to handle the conversion, no problem. I'm always very cautious with any sort of converting back and forth. I've seen so many fires and heard of so many horror stories. I'd rather just not. I'd rather just not, but in theory, it does sound like it'd be fine. All right, boys, this is going to wrap it up for me today. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm headed off to jiu-jitsu yet again. We'll be back tomorrow, 9:45 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. Central Standard Time for the live show, and then we will clip out relevant parts for individual news topics in case you are the type of person that just wants to catch one topic. And this is kind of where we're going with. I'm still going to be doing how-tos and reviews. That being said, maybe not through the holiday season, at least here for the next couple weeks, while really honestly, while I train for the next, so this week and next week, I probably won't be doing too much testing and B-roll and all of that. I've already done some B-roll. I'm doing it here and there, but it's super time consuming, and I have a competition for jiu-jitsu on the 11th, so I'm kind of hyper focused on that. So right now we're using this to keep up to date. I do have to get back out to the farm too. Make sure you guys rewatch the video if you have any more questions on any of the topics for the day, and you can always check the description for all of the latest up-to-date sources and links to source articles.